Alicia was getting to the age of closer to 18, maybe when she was 16, we were trying to figure out, okay, what's going to happen? Because the doctors were telling us, okay, well, Alicia's about to be 18. You got to get on that guardianship, got to do some research on that.
Mom and I had to do a special needs trust for Alicia because of diagnosis, and they're telling us, everyone was telling us that. Teachers are telling us that. Yeah. And quite honestly, it was very stressful for Mom and I because at the time, we had a lot going on, and we're leading small groups, marriage small groups, and we had to pull away from it. It's like, we need to go focus on this guardianship thing. I didn't know what it meant, and we met with another lawyer, and he just like, yeah, absolutely got to get this. And we were just like freaking out. Yeah. And so Mom and I said, we can't do nothing but focus on this alone right now. Right?
When we did the research, it didn't sit right with us because the whole idea of it was we would be standing in front of a judge saying that, okay, well, she really can't do much of anything, so we need to decide how she lives. And as a homeschooler, educating and teaching about living outside the box and doing things in a different way, we just didn't like the idea for us.
Mom had done some research and she got in touch with Dana.
I had many conversations with Dana because every time she would reveal something else about supported decision making, after I processed it, I'd have to call her back and say, but wait, this lawyer told us that if anything bad happened, it would be totally rest on Alicia's shoulders and she could end up in prison and all these different stories. So multiple conversations later, we decided that supported decision making was for us because we saw the possibilities. Alicia has many dreams. You all have many dreams. Yeah. And we all realize that we've been using this our whole lives. We just now have a platform, the I Decide platform, which is all the different stages of using supported decision making.
So I love having people that support me in any way, that help me to learn and to grow and to be myself, to be independently, to move out independently, to be with people that I do love, that I've been with aunts and uncles that will support me in any way. If I have anything hard to do, they will help me do that.
And it's always good to get advice, especially people that are for you and in your circle that say, hey, I'm trying to do this, what do you think? And nothing beats getting honest feedback. I might tell you something you don't want to hear, right? Not because I'm trying to be mean, but maybe something that you didn't think about.
Yeah.
And sometimes it's not easy to take feedback, especially when it's not what we don't want to hear. And it's especially helpful when you're trying to do something meaningful and having the right insights or how to go about doing that. And even if you fail at it, failure is not a bad thing. It's just lessons you learn from that and how you apply it. And so we've always wanted you guys to be fully equipped with that because we know we're not going to be around forever.
I mean, that's one of the challenges, right, of supported decision making, getting rid of your fears of what will happen if something drastic happens. But then, what about you guys?
Yeah, no different than you
Because
guys.
the same thing could happen to any of us,
Right.
I feel like with guardianship, you're pretty much just pigeonholing people. But when you allow people with disabilities to make their own decisions, they brain-wise just think differently than the general population. Yeah. So you're going to get a lot more creativity. You're going to get a lot more different ideas that you're going to say, I would have never thought of that. So I feel like it just also helps like the community in the world.
What's been amazing since we've done that, I mean, for me, I know because Alicia has her challenges. We all have our challenges, right? But some of hers might be more pronounced. Is using that I Decide helped me a lot, right? Because the focus was more on how do we equip her? And it should be for all of us, right? But her climb is a little more steep. And so that Decide framework helps me that when things don't go right, to look at it and say, hey, you know what? This was maybe something I could do better. Maybe I didn't give her information. And maybe it's okay to understand, like, you know what? She's going to fail in this moment, but this is going to provide a learning opportunity for all of us. We want you guys to know who you are. Because there are enough people in this world trying to tell you who you should be. And if you know who you are, then you know to move on from those people.
For me, it helped a lot because that was around the same time that I realized there were some legal things that needed to be looked into for guardianship versus supported decision making. And so, out of the two, as I now that legal professional, I realized that that one's the best one to have, most definitely from a legal standpoint and from a developmental standpoint as well.
Oh, you said developmental standpoint?
Yeah.
Yes. That's the beauty about supported decision making. The fact that because you are not being told what to do all the time, it allows you to dream big and open up different doors and different windows. And
With the guardianship, you're really just like, that is literally your ward. You don't have to actually water it and grow it, which is why developmental is so important. And it's important to develop if you're going to literally do anything.
Yeah.
Which is a lot more than a lot of
share your
people.
gift and
good,
your
that's
talents
good,
with the
yeah.
world,
Yeah.
right? You know, I've just seen all of you really, but more recently, Alicia, even the idea of, I want to be a Zumba instructor. She didn't say, wow, I have a disability and it's an intellectual disability and I have Down syndrome, that's my diagnosis. She said, I want to be a Zumba instructor.
I love Zumba, and my mom introduced me to a Zumba class on Zoom, and I started to be that because I want to see what's brand new for me to do. And I was like, you know what? I want to figure out what is part of Zumba in my life. And like, I love Zumba, I fell in love with Zumba, and now I teach at Teachers Playhouse once a month, and I just love doing that and show people different moves.